Hi guys, welcome to Hannah's backyard. So today I weeded the entire garden. Well, I just seen I missed a section. Anyway, I weeded the majority of the garden. So I figured I would show you the growth that we've had. I think it was a week ago that I did a garden tour, something like that. So yeah, we've had a lot of rain, so everything is huge. And we've also had a lot of wind, so it knocked a lot of my potatoes down, and then my dog started to go in there and trample them. So they're not looking as nice as they were looking last time, but they are still super healthy and no bugs yet. So I have picked two or three squash bugs off my zucchini. So I know they're there, but they're not infested, I guess. So, and then today for the first time, I took the I fertilized some flowers on the zucchini to see if I can jumpstart that, because I don't really see a lot of bees right now. I'm sure they're around, but I haven't seen there very many. So I did that because, like I said, I really want some zucchini this year, hence the big patch. But anyway, corn's tall. We had really hot weather this week, or last week. It was, I feel like temps were over 100. So of course my broccoli was starting to head that week and bolted. So not all of it, but the majority. The cauliflower are looking really good, so hopefully I'll be able to show you that. I might have to go in here. It's kind of a mess in there. Everything's super close, but I'm still loving it. And last night I picked a cabbage for the first time of the year, and that's also in netting, and it was the nicest cabbage I've ever grown. Beautiful, no bugs. I know I can see that there is some bug damage in there, but it's not the cabbage moths. So, and honestly, I don't really see any flying right now, and I haven't. So like maybe I just completely deterred them altogether. But anyway, let's go through and check out the garden. Okay, so I'm going to start way down here and show you I planted some blueberries, and they weren't looking the greatest, and so then I put some soil acidifier here, and now they got some new growth. It is still a little bit red, so I am going to test it and see what's going on. First time I've ever really tried hard to grow blueberries. So this year, this side did not come back. Well, a little of my rows, but not very much. So I'm not sure. Hold on. All right, I'm not sure exactly why. I probably should feed it or something. Now this area is certainly a mess, but I've been working diligently about pulling things, and you know, it's a little bit better. There's not as much thistles. Yeah, that's a lot of mint though. That's what I'm struggling with now, is mint. But at least mint is edible. Okay, so, or you know, you can harvest it. This week I have to get out here and pull scapes, and I have fed my garlic twice. I should have done it earlier, so now I don't think I want to. I'm not sure if anybody knows, but I think it's already starting like the die-off process, but I don't know. I would like to get better at garlic. I get a really good harvest every year, but I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. So here you can see where my potatoes are all knocked down, but they are still alive, so they're in there. But they're tall. They're a good 3 feet tall. The dogs they like hunting in there, I guess. There are ones in there right now. Okay, so hopefully you'll be able to see through this netting and I don't have to go in there. There is a cheddar cauliflower. Here's a better one. There's that. And then over here, maybe you can't see it. There's a purple one. There's little purple ones in there. I can barely see them, so you probably can't. Here, I'll see if I can stick my hand in here. So kale, the Brussels sprouts, those are like the biggest leafed Brussels sprouts I've ever grown in my life. Yeah, also if you could help me with those, do I pull off the leaves on the bottom, or do I keep them going, just let them grow up and then take the leaves off? Usually I prune them a little bit, and I don't know. I never really have gotten a good harvest. So this year I'm trying a lot harder, hence why they're in this tunnel and with the cauliflower. But yeah, if you have an answer to that, that would be awesome. Okay. Here I have my little row of shallots. I'm glad I actually got a row this year. Those are started from seed. I started everything from seed except for the potatoes and garlic. So this is a honeycomb, 2 honeycombs. They're looking beautiful right now. Super happy with how they're doing. These 2 are green zebras. They're small, but they're really starting to green up and look bushy. So this is the humongous zucchini patch. And right now there's not one in there. And there's a sunflower in the center right there. I'm just leaving them, why not? My calendula, that's right there. Wasn't a good spot for me to plant that or the nasturtium next to it. But live and learn. I should have known better. I know zucchini gets big. And then this is my first section of corn. It is over waist high right now. So that's looking really good. We got a little cabbage in there. My cucumbers are super slow growing, but they are growing compared to like the zucchini, right? I started them at the same time, and then the first batch didn't come up, and I put seeds in later. But then we had warm weather when I put these in the ground, and then it got cold after that. But here is one of the row of tomatoes. They're looking really good, and then the Genovese basil. I got to keep popping off those little flowers that want to start. Excuse me. These are some queen lime zinnias. Some really nice hot peppers. They're doing phenomenal. Now I did feed these with Fox Farm Big Blooms, which has more nitrogen, which is probably why I have a lot of plant growth right now. But I feel like that's what I needed, was plant growth. So I'm gonna be happy with that, and it looks really good. Now on this side, this is the queen lime blush zinnia. Anyway, some tulsi here, and then another row of the tomatoes and some purple petra in between. Doesn't this look so nice? It's like a carpet. It's so soft. The soil this year is just great. So now you can see, I'm thinking I'm going to come in and cut all these off down here, because up on top, well, there's still a little bit of leaf curl. I don't know, this one's struggling this year, but it's looking a little bit better than down here. So I'm going to probably snip all those and keep this growing from the top. I got to weave everything. I haven't done any trimming or weaving for a couple days, so everything's got to be worked with a little bit. These are the sweet peppers, and another row of tomatoes and tulsi in between. And then this is Isabellina zinnias. And my lettuce, I've been cutting that quite a bit. Still needs to be cut. Now that was supposed to be iceberg, and I should have thinned it out and let it form heads, but I've been cutting it as in like a leaf lettuce. These are the tennis ball ones. Now I probably should start thinning those so they can actually form bulbs or heads. But this is a row of colored carrots. They're all different colors. This, I had to pick these up. This is a row of just plain orange ones. No, I didn't have to buy them. I think I found some. I can't remember, but I had to restart those because the ones I did plant didn't come up. And then this is also another row of colored carrots. And I got a couple cauliflower here, which these they're a little bit behind, so they're not doing anything yet. And that's 1, 2, and then those are some more cabbage. I can go through the varieties of what I have too. This one, I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I got that one from a greenhouse. And I read about it, and it sounds like a phenomenal tomato. Then I got some watermelon that are really cooking this week. They loved the heat and the rain, so they're really growing and taking off. Now I just gotta keep the dogs away from them, and hopefully they don't get wrecked by them. A lot of kale that I've been picking for the chickens. Some celery. It's really getting big now. And then the Swiss chard. All different colors. I'm gonna plant a row of cilantro here because the radishes are done. And then I'm not sure. Maybe I'll do cilantro there. And lettuce here. More lettuce or something. But these are my okra. I have never grown okra before, so I have no clue if they look good or they look bad. They got little flowers on them, it looks like, already. I'm not sure if I should take them off or what. And then here's another Swiss chard. This is some Cosmos. What are they? Double click cranberry Cosmos. They sound good. They sound cool, but so that's that. And then here, I didn't weed in here, so you have to excuse that, but these are my cabbage. Copenhagen is still my favorite, and they're nice big heads. That's the one I picked, and they're super sweet. So yeah, they are getting a little bit run over or overran with the weeds, but it doesn't seem to be bothering them. See, there's a little bit of bug damage there, but I'll end up picking this soon, and then this whole row will be gone. And over here is all my onions. Now, can we just admire, I'm not bragging, but I'm taking pride in my work. The weed job I did on this. This is all by hand because I did it so close together, except for this big row here. But it looks really good. There's only a couple little mini weeds that I missed. Super happy with how the onions are doing. These are ones I started from seed. These are ones from the feed store. These are from the feed store, and then these two I started from seed. And I planted these way later than the feed store ones, and they're catching right up, and they're looking awesome. This is my first. Last year I started from seed, and I only got like 5 or 6 at the end of it. Something ate the tops. I lost them. They were too small. I didn't harden them off right. All kinds of things. But I can actually say that this is I haven't gotten one yet. So I can't say this is my first successful year, but I'm thinking it's going to happen because they look really nice. And here's another row of corn that I diligently weeded and got it looking phenomenal. And then the row of canna lilies. So that is the garden this week. It has gotten huge. It's just a rockin'. The heat we had and then the rain. It absolutely loved it. Now I will take you to the back bed and show you that. Okay, so this is the back garden that I have. Basically flower patch. I keep losing these from the wind. These are bachelor buttons. They've gotten knocked down multiple times. Zinnias. I think that might be a marigold. I'm not quite sure, but it came up from last year, reseeded. There's a whole bunch of wildflowers out here. Yeah, so zinnias, marigolds. This is dill. Calendula. Look how pretty these are. They're called Pink Surprise. Not sure why. They don't look very pink to me. But the most exciting thing that I have found is my loofah is trying to live. It wants to live. So we're gonna let it do its thing. More onions that I started from seed, hollyhocks, bachelor buttons I got knocked down. I got some pumpkins starting, some random marigolds around here, watermelon, and this is kind of a mess back here. I started weeding and I just started to kind of lay down a path here. But you can see I got watermelon on either side. I got 6 of them. They're doing really good. My comfrey got knocked down this week by the wind, so it overran almost all the chamomile. Oh, but I got a little bit right there. Oh, look how cute. And then the carnations still aren't doing much. But my peanuts, they're starting. They liked the heat this week. But there's that. So yeah, that is the garden this week. Things are really growing finally. Yeah, look at this. How sad is it? It was all standing up back here and it just keeps falling that way. So I'm wondering if I should cut it, kind of let it grow again. You know about comfrey? Let me know that too. So the horses are coming up to get out of the bugs, so I'm gonna let them in. But you guys have a good one. See you on the next one.